We're ready. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the November 15th Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first thing we have on our agenda are minutes. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
None.
Okay.
I move to approve the minutes from the Board of County Commissioners for November 1st, 2022 as presented.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, November 1st, 2022. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Then at 9 o'clock, we have a public hearing. So, Kim, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney McClain.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. This is a reschedule from 11/15/2022 due to the election. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing to consider a resolution to vacate and abandon a portion of County Road Y crossing lands owned by the Bureau of Land Management and Cortez LLC, beginning at a point along the eastern boundary of Government Lot 13 within the southwest fourth of section, 31 Township, 38 North, Range 18 West, NPM, following a westerly and southerly direction, terminating at a point along the eastern boundary of Government Lot 1 within the southwest 4, northeast 4 of Section 11, Township 37 North, Range 19 West, a road approximately 3 1/10 of a mile in length. The hearing will be held 9 a.m. on the Commissioner's Hearing Room at 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado, room 250, November 15th, 2022. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the GIS office at https://montezumacounty.org public notices. Dated this 4th day of October 2022, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado, published in the Cortez Journal on October 5th, 2022.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Okay. Mr.
Okay.
Roth.
Yeah, so Road Y, we've been discussing this road segment here for probably almost the past year. And Road Y has been shown on road maps since the 1950s in slightly varying alignments. The original alignment turned off south and went onto an old ranch house on the property now owned by Cortez LLC, and then that route was realigned on the road maps in the early 1980s to essentially show what has been shown as a Greene County road since then. At question, what we've been trying to resolve is because there was a gate up at the intersection where it entered the Cortez LLC property. If it is indeed a public road, then that gate would need to be open and public access guaranteed. The discussions was, did we ever procure a right-of-way through the Cortez LLC property? In discussions with the commissioners over the past few months, the decision was made that as far as the county interest, the best thing would probably be to go ahead and abandon that 3 1/10 mile section of road, bringing it back up to what is essentially referred to as so it will continue, Road Y will continue to be a county road into the Canyon of the Ancients, just past the intersection with what is known as, we show it as Road 9.2. It's also known as BLM 4531C, and that also provides access, hiking and other recreation access to Mockingbird Mesa at that point. The decision, the goal in the county is to provide access to public lands with public roads. We certainly do this. In this case, we provide access into the public lands. We're just shortening the access that's going through the public lands. And there are other ways to access these areas of the Canyon of the Ancients. It just cuts off one particular route here. And so that would vacate 3 1/10 mile section of that road. I will go over, I'm going to read, the monument manager, Ray O'Neill, said, "We don't plan to comment on the abandonment. If this is approved, if this road does get vacated, the BLM will continue to manage the road as BLM 4531A to the boundary of the private property." So that is the comment from the BLM. And then the only other correspondence that we had was from Mr. Zimmer Hackle, and they are the owner of, if you can bring up the map there, Travis, it should be one, there we go. So let me just point. Zimmer Hackle property is this one right here. This is Lehman, so they butt each other here. And his comment was that they have used this portion of road through the Cortez LLC property because it is a much better road than going around through the BLM. This gentleman looked through the documents that he had inherited from his father. This property's been in their family for a while, and they do have an agreement in place for access through the BLM to that property. He also contacted Ken Lehman with Cortez LLC, and Mr. Lehman indicated that they were going to give them a key and continue to allow them access through his property to get to his property in the most convenient way. We did send them a Zoom link. If he is on, we'll give him a chance here to comment in a second. And then on that note, we did publish this in the newspaper 30 days in advance on October 5th, and also sent out certified mailings to all affected property owners and oil and gas companies in the area, and these are the only comments we received back. So that is, I think, all I have to say.
Comments or questions, commissioners?
None at this time.
I don't have any at this time.
Okay. Well then, being that this is a public hearing, I will open this up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this
Is there anybody on
hearing.
Zoom?
Can you guys hear me? Can
Yes.
you folks hear me?
Yes.
I just have a quick question. So the BLM commented that they were going to maintain the road to the north part of the Lehman's property.
Whoever this is needs to identify themselves and
And
state
Oh,
their-
I'm sorry. My name is John Zimmerhackle. I'm, who was referenced earlier. I'm the managing partner of the Zimmerhackle Family LLC.
Mr. Zimmerhackle, can you just give your address, because this is.
Yes, our home address is 7832 West 95th Drive in Westminster, Colorado,
And can you also
80021.
Can you also turn your camera on?
Oh, sure. 1 second. I can figure out how. having trouble figuring, I'm not familiar with it. Doesn't seem,
There should be an icon next to where you're muting that says show video.
seeing that. Oh, here it is.
There you go. Thank
Can
you.
you see me now?
Yes, sir.
My question is, as far as the BLM land below the layman's property, so farther down Negro Canyon, is the BLM going to continue to maintain that, or?
That would be a question for the monument manager.
Okay.
Essentially, these would be BLM roads, and they would manage them per whatever travel management plan they have, as far as what
Okay,
access.
so I can contact them and ask that question of them directly?
Correct. You can get a hold of Ray O'Neill, the manager out there at Canham, and he can answer your questions as far as what they're going to do at Canham.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Okay. All right, thank you. Is there anybody else on Zoom? I don't see anybody right now. Okay. Well then, seeing nothing in the room, I'll go ahead and close the public comment session of this hearing, and I will bring it back to the commissioners. Gentlemen, any other?
I don't have anything. Gerald?
No, I don't. There's not anybody living down there, and why we're maintaining a road down there all these years, it's beyond me. I don't think it's necessary for the county to be maintaining that.
I don't either. Without any public comment or anything else. Gerald, you want to go ahead?
And so commissioners, I actually have a resolution. It's identical to that one, but it's in our more consistent format. So I don't know which one you guys want to sign.
Okay.
Yeah, either one.
No,
Gerald, you want to do it?
I don't care. I move we approve resolution number 13-2022 for the proposed abandonment of portion of road Y crossing lands owned by Cortez LLC within sections 1, 2, 11, and 12 of Township 37, Range 19, West NMPM.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 13, 2022, a resolution to vacate and abandon a portion of County Road Y, crossing lands owned by BLM and Cortez LLC. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will close this public hearing. And, oh, we're doing good.
Yeah, just a little bit of time. I know that it was, today was also time for the GIS monthly report, so if we have a few minutes. Nolan's still here? So, yeah, so that means that Nolan's been here for a month now, and is definitely up to speed now and making some headway. Sometimes it seems like all we're doing is catching up on addressing, but we just sent out a big list of about 60 addresses, doing a lot of field checks. Nolan's also been in contact with the BLM to get more of their trail data, more of the Phil's World expansion. We have the chutes and ladders, and then the aqueduct trail over in Mancus.
Yeah, aqueduct.
You can just turn it on and pull it close to you. There you go.
Yeah, that newly extended bike trail system, near Mancus, it's like a 12-mile system. That one's updated to our website, so for the public to use.
It's one of those things that was on the list for quite a while, and Nowlin came on board and got that done, got that added to our map, so it's positive. And just looking forward to moving forward on some of these other projects that are kind of been sitting on the wayside for a while, so already good things happening.
Have we gotten any responses on the addresses that you've sent out? I mean, that's a pretty big list. What,
It's a big list in part because when I was trying to do it all myself, I wasn't, that was the list that goes back about 2.5 months. Typically, we want to send those out every month, and we're sending out 15 to 20 every month. But because of my getting a little bit behind, that's why that list was so big. And I know that, that's a little bit burdensome on the assessor's office because they have to go through them all and make sure that they're all in the assessor system as well. And get those parcels flagged as well for any potential new construction. But yeah, that system's working pretty well. We do send those addresses out to not only to the property owner, of course, but also an entire list of agencies, including the electric companies, the gas companies, the postal service, FedEx. So that they can be all added to their databases. One of the most important databases for addresses to be added to is the USPS master address list, which all delivery companies use to verify against addresses. So,
okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you, guys. Any other questions?
No. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Nolan. All right, well, we still have 3 minutes, so I'm gonna look to the side over there. Coroner, are you you're usually pretty quick, so I'll move you up.
I can be very quick. How's everybody this morning?
Great.
Good.
Alive.
Got the numbers for October. We had 12 coroner cases, 7 additional hospice cases, and we did 16 autopsies in the month of October. And that brings our year-to-date totals, everything together, is going to be 213 calls. 141 of those have been the coroner calls. That puts us 3 ahead of last year's numbers at this time. And we were like 40 ahead last year. We outdid the year before. So it's just seems to keep increasing. Hospice deaths, we had 72 year to date. Motor vehicle fatalities, we've had 7. We're up to 8 suicides. We had another one last month. Overdoses, we had 1 more added to that list. And homicides, thank goodness, we're staying the same. And we've done 163 autopsies, 164 as of yesterday.
You've been busy.
Yeah, we had 5 in 1 day last week. Had 6 in 30 hours, so it's been kind of nuts. So, anybody have any questions?
The only question I have, and I asked it last time, and you said you were gonna check, I think with Jan, in La Plata County, where are they at as far as getting their facility put together? Do you have
They're
any-
still at a standstill.
Still? Okay, good. Well, then, they're coming our direction still.
As long as they keep coming here is good for us.
Yeah.
Happy to take care of them.
Pardon?
We're happy to take care of them.
Yes, yes, and our pathologist is more than happy to take care of them over here.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't think
I don't
so.
have anything.
Did I take up your 3 minutes?
No?
Oh, you can take as much time
You got
as
another
want.
minute, George.
What else would you like to know?
We're not rushing you. We're just trying to get, instead of wasting time, we just try to fill everything in between the.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate it because I got a bunch of stuff to do at the office, so.
Yep.
All right, you
All
guys
right.
have a good day.
Thank you,
too.
George.
Thanks, George.
Okay, being at 9:20, we have our next public hearing. Kim, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney McLaren.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and determination of the official 2022 county road map and resolution number 14-2022, which includes but is not limited to determining a system of primary and secondary county roads, reviewing changes to the road system, and specifying a 60-foot right-of-way for all county roads. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15th, 2022 at 9:20 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, County Administrative Building, 109 West Main Street, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. The proposed official road map is on display in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, 109 West Main Street, Cortez, Colorado, and is also available for download at https://montezumacounty.org public notices. Anyone may examine the map and submit comments to the GIS department located at 109 West Main, room 282, Cortez, Colorado, during regular office hours, by phone at 970-564-4169, or by email at droth@co.montezuma.co.us. Dated this 26th day of October, 2022, Kim Purcell Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Cortez Journal on October 26, 2022, and November 2nd, 2022.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Doug?
Okay, yeah, it is time to adopt a new roadmap. We like to do this about every 2 years. It seems like a good time schedule to do this, to go over the changes so that we don't get too big of a list. And we did, we put this on the website. We had a copy in the back of the room to review. We published it in the notice in the newspaper the past 2 weeks as well to follow state statutes. The last road map that we adopted was June 14th of 2020. So essentially what I'm going to do is just go through the changes fairly quickly. Go ahead and stop me if you have any questions. And there's two types of changes. There's I would say that the most substantive changes, which we'll go through first, are where we modify sections of Green Road, County Road. Those are the most substantive. And then there's changes that are also important where we add red road segments and various things. That's an important part of the county road system. And then there's changes that I'm not going to go over, but I do list them on the documents, are surface status changes where we've paved roads, where we've, in some cases, turned roads back into gravel, and things like that. Those are important, but we typically review those changes in more detail when we go over the HUTF report in January. So just going down the list, first off, we did add a half-mile section of Road 32. This is we discovered this by a landowner down there. It's south of Road M. It does go down to a kind of an orphan BLM parcel down there in the Stinking Springs Canyon. We previously had a red road in this area to show some addressing parcels down there. A property owner showed us documentation where, in fact, this section of road was quitclaimed to the county in the 1974, and the county administrator in 1991 essentially recognized this section as a valid public county right-of-way. So this is a correction. It's unbuilt. We're probably not going to be doing anything with it down there, but we would essentially, with this information, we would have to, in order to remove it from the road map, we would have to go through abandonment proceedings because it does provide access to a number of different parcels through there. So it's an important update on that section. This section of road was essentially completed shortly after the last road map, so this is going back almost 2 years, but it's a section of road N south of Summit Lake, west, and this was added to the new BLM parking lot for primarily equestrian access there. It's almost 0.2 of a mile long, added to the road map. Then the next road change, and this is essentially a correction. This was a section of road that was vacated by, this is K.6, north of Memphis on 184. This 425-foot section of county road was vacated by Resolution 3 of 2008. However, that never got properly reflected on the road map. That was a few months before I started with the county, so we are getting that small correction. I think it used to go up and abut that neighboring property, but it was vacated, so small correction there. And then next, we have the public hearing that we just went through to vacate this portion of road. So this is what the road map is going to look like now, showing a combination of orange BLM roads and red roads. Even though we did vacate this section of road, it is still a road, and for emergency purposes, we still show it as a orange, or in some cases, red section of road. It provides important access for emergency vehicles down there through oil and gas wells. So we can't just delete it from the road map and show a void. But it is no longer going to be shown as a green county public road. So that's that map change. And then we're going to go on to red road changes. This is actually converted from green to red. Our road map used to have, this is just north of 184 in the Pine Ridge subdivision. The road map was incorrect in that it showed the county road and maintenance going up to what is road R.5. That was incorrect. Rob let me know that the maintenance ends at the cul-de-sac a little bit south of that, and per the Pine Ridge subdivision, those are all private roads in there. So minor correction, but an important correction there. So now on to the red road changes. We have a new red road 22.6 to the Hermosos Vistas subdivision. We did install a road sign at that location. And then next we have new red road 23.75. This is a tract of land that kept getting subdivided and re-subdivided until the point where we had to essentially assign a new red road at this location, Road X, north of there, going up there. And this is good because there's actually a number of development activities going on in this subdivision, so it was definitely necessary to have a red road assigned in this area. It is a recorded access easement. And then next we have road 26.7 loop into the Blue Mesa subdivision, and as we know, off the new county road J going through, number of different homes getting put through there. And then on the north side of Cortez, we have road 26.8 off of Rodell/Alamosa Street. Mountain Raid subdivision. I don't think there's any new homes in there yet, but we do have a red road and a road sign installed. And then this subdivision is a couple years old now, but we do have the Bear Pond 4-lot subdivision off of Highway 184. This was one where this gentleman built a house here. You can see it on the property, and it wasn't added to Google. We were actually successful in this one, adding it to Google so that it would show up on maps. It's never a certain thing just because we add it to our map so that it's going to show up on Google. So we'll make an attempt to make sure that these changes are pushed to Google if at all possible. And then we have, this is the Wilderness Lost Canyon tracks. It was originally, obviously one tract composing of quite a few hundreds, thousands of acres. And these eventually all got subdivided off into 35-acre tracts in order to accommodate access and addressing to these. There's a good amount of developments for primarily seasonal homes up here. We had to both move per the access easement on the plats assigned for road T.7 and 37.1. Those signs are both installed, and we are assigning a few addresses in that area. So, and then we have road J.85, and this one, there was some question about this one because we just installed a road sign on this one a few weeks ago, and the problem with installing a road sign, and I understand the concerns, is that sometimes people see that road sign and then they think it's a public road. In this case, it's not, but there's more recreational activity in that area because they're going up to the Aqueduct parking lot, which is the next road up, about a quarter mile further up that road. And the best thing I can say, because this road, this J.85 named Red Road, it follows an access easement that is platted. It does access 6 lots, currently 3 homes. And when we look at 6 lots, we look at the potential for 12 homes. And when we start assigning addresses, we have to look at the future, not just the present of what things are. So in this case, it appears to be a private access easement, and the owners in there can do a number of things to sign it as a private road. And we would encourage them to do that as far as finding a solution in those cases. But, and then we have, and this is a subdivision that is current and pending, but it's road U.65. It's going to access a 10-lot subdivision, Equity North subdivision off of Road 26. And we have road V.3 off 491 and 21, which follows a 60-foot access easement and accesses a number of tracts of land back there. So we added that road and installed a road sign. And then the next one we have road 24.5 north of Road L. This is Green Village PUD subdivision that Danny Wilkin did. Accesses about 4 lots back in there, and we installed a road sign there. And I think that is all I have. Those are all the changes.
Thanks, Doug.
Yep. Any questions? Comments?
No.
Okay. Well, being that this is a public hearing, I do have to open this up for public comment. So anybody wishing to speak for or against these changes to the roadmap, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Yep. You bet.
Morning.
So we're here on behalf of the J.85. We understand the emergency services, issue.
Name and address, please.
Yeah.
Elisha Bellmeyer, 9790 Road 39, 9800 Road 39.
Randy Smith, 9910, I guess J.85.
We don't know.
I don't know.
It used to be Road 39.
Well, our concerns are the bicycle traffic up through there. It's terrible already.
They're already coming right through our properties. There's 4 tracks off that, 4
Yeah,
plots off of that new J.85, which is the aqueduct for the Mesa Verde pipeline. It's not an access. It's private property. It only has easement for the aqueduct. And there's
Four.
4 homes and 4 tracks that accesses. Now we have people coming because it borders the LM on two sides, and there's 2 entrances to that new bike trail. One past the new J.85 and one before it. And so what's happening is people are coming, they're parking on our property, going in and accessing it from there because they think it's a road. And it's not. And it's like we have kids out there, we've got livestock, we've got kids on motorcycles, we've got kids shooting guns. It's very unsafe. And our concern is that having it listed as a road just makes it worse for more people coming through there, especially from that bike trail. And then it used to be hunters thinking that it was a road, but now they don't hunt there because the bicyclers have taken it over. So that's our concern with the J.85. And we're happy to, put better signage for emergency services. That's no problem. We already have it listed. We have our
We have addresses.
At that road. But we're happy to do a better job in order to keep that J.85 as not being a red road. Because it is on private property. And we can access it, like Road 39 can be, you can access it with addresses.
So I'll let you comment to that. So basically, the way I understand it, to make this a red sign road, they can still put whatever type of signage on it that you feel, or the 4 property owners in there that access it right now, correct? So
Yeah,
so
they can
put
gate it
signage.
if they want to.
Obviously, if they're parking on your private property, nobody has a right to do that.
Well, and even if you say private property, if it says it's a red road, they're still gonna use it. Because they think it's a county road. And that's where, and all of a sudden we have a sign there, and then we don't know that our addresses have changed. We don't,
No, we had no idea.
no.
Well, that
Until
may
we
be
see the
one of
sign.
the 60 letters that were being sent out.
There's no,
Well,
we never
So-
receive letters.
Yeah, there are a few addresses that do need to get changed to J.85, which is not gonna make people happy either. They usually take an approach in that situation where when the subdivision went through, there's one person addressed off J.85 at that point, when we assigned a new address. There are a few homes in there that eventually will get readdressed to J.85 instead of 39.
Which is what we do not want. We would rather those addresses, it's all family property. We would like it to be Road 39 and not have a J.85 on our private property. And if emergency services is the real issue, we are happy to put up our signs with our address as, 9800 Road 39. I don't know why that would be an issue. And each one of them are posted as well, once you turn onto that private lane.
They drive by a chicken house that's right on the driveway.
Exactly.
To do all this with the bicycles and stuff.
There's
I
and the
mean-
kids are out there shooting their guns. We've got grandkids all over. And there's livestock. So it's not,
It's our private driveway.
exactly. It's private land.
Yeah, there are lots of red roads that are essentially named driveways that we have to, for emergency services.
Emergency services, do they use GPS or do they use the red road sign when they take off? Let's say the ambulance leaves. Are they looking for our road sign or are they looking for our address that's on GPS?
This is on the dispatch map. They're using the county road map, and we put things on the county road map, and then it gets pushed up to Cortez Dispatch.
Are they looking for the sign? Do they look for J.85 and then go find our
Oh, yeah.
sign?
Oh,
Or do
absolutely.
they pinpoint us and use their GPS?
Oh, yeah, they use the road signs. Certainly
so-
there is, but they certainly use the road signs.
So my concern is if it truly is an emergency services issue, we would like to put our addresses as Road 39, and we do not want J.85 on our private property. That's it. That's what we're here for.
So I mean, when I look
don't think
at,
that it's fair that it's on, you can just take somebody's private property, call it a red road, and now we've got all these bicyclists, and I don't care if you put up private property. All of our private property signs have been torn down. So obviously that doesn't work. And if I have to put a gate, a locked gate, now I have to get out, and everybody that accesses that has to get out and open a locked gate. I mean, this is our private property. This is not a concern we should have to have. If it's truly emergency services, all we have to do is put 9800 Road 39 as it already is there. And then when they drive down the road, it says 9800 Road 39.
so it's been in the road standards for decades now that, you know, if there's more than, I think it's more than 2 homes off of a drive, that would be considered a red road. So I mean, that hasn't changed in decades, and that's essentially what we're following. So you know, I understand the concerns, absolutely. Part of the issue is that if we, you know, start making exceptions, then we're looking at how the entire red road system functions and works and how we've been applying it now for decades. So we're just trying to apply it in an equal manner without really considering, I understand this is probably just family property back in here, but when we start to see subdivisions go through a number of undeveloped tracts that could have 2 homes on it, how do we assign future addresses there when it might be 4 homes now, and then it's going to be 6, and it's going to be 7, and how long is it going to be in the property, in the family? We try not to really consider that because we're looking at future development long-term.
So if you didn't do it with 2 houses, now why are you going to do it with 4? And if that's the case, why can't we just extend it until that family isn't, or until that property isn't?
I think what he's saying is because every 2 years we look at all of the roads within the county and then they get updated. So this has probably been, and I don't know, there are 4 residents on it right now, and I don't know, there might have only been, to start, 1, obviously, then 2, then 3, then 4. So potentially, like he's saying, you can have 2 residences per piece of property within this subdivision. So it could potentially be 8, and it could happen, who knows, what kind of a period of time. So I can just, so I'm not speaking for the fire chiefs or sheriff or anybody else, I'm just talking from my own, as emergency services, anytime you get a road that Y's or T's off of another road, it's very difficult, specifically at night, if you're going down 39 Road and the address is 39 Road and now at T's, it's very difficult to find those addresses. So to have it marked as something else specific to delineate it is very beneficial for emergency services. So
Well, have you seen where they put it? You can't see it.
I have not.
You
I
can't
haven't
even-
seen it yet. So,
If it's got to be more than 2 houses, it's the Smith subdivision. There's only 1 house on the Smith subdivision. The other's 30 acres with 1 house on it.
I
It doesn't
understand
have to
that,
be one
but the
subdivision.
potential of it getting more,
We
Okay,
did
my
that.
dad's
That
got
growth is
a
there.
plot, he's got a driveway to his house. Well, he has a potential to put a subdivision in there. Is he getting a red road sign on his driveway? There's the
So-
potential of a subdivision there.
so a driveway, and I'll let you answer this probably better than I can, but a driveway is different than something that accesses other lots. This is accessing the other lots.
It is a driveway.
Understand that you're using it as a driveway, but it accesses everybody's lots.
Everybody uses it,
Mhm,
so it is their driveway.
mhm.
We're trying to stop traffic
Yeah,
and then
we've got
future,
so many people
there's
on
not
our
access
property.
to the back property anyway on this right of way. So that one's gone. I've been there for 25 years.
Which is
My
the,
sister-in-law's been there for 25 years.
at the end of the road?
That's 2 houses. So in 25 years, now we get a red road sign?
I can't answer that question. I'm going to leave that up to Doug.
Well, I mean,
but-
there probably are qualifying areas where we probably should have more red roads. We don't necessarily go out and look for it, but when we see development activities, then we evaluate at that time. And that's what we're
I
doing.
understand your
Yeah.
position on it. It's just, if it's potentially can be something later, how are we doing signs now?
Right now, can we just wait
We're trying to
until it's-
acquire the back property, so that's gonna cut down one more. So,
We're just asking that we.
is this gonna give people future easements through our property to the, back property?
How does it turn
It's
to a
an,
green road?
it's an easement right now with the red road, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at
No,
the
it's-
subdivision
no.
plat, and it looks like it accesses all those, and I did count 6 tracks that it accesses back there. I guess if I'm
doesn't-
wrong, but
It's for,
It's for.
But independent of getting into easements and so forth, we look at the reality of what it's currently being used for, and that's what we react to.
Doug, what I'm understanding is this is just consistent with county practices in terms of when we identify.
Right, yeah.
That's
As-
decades old.
As are the concerns. I mean, it's the same concern, understandable concerns. So looking for ways to mitigate people going through and thinking that it's a public road. We had the same thing in Phil's world, when we assigned a road name there. And we specifically went, at that point, if you go to Phil's world and you go past the second parking lot there, we put up a lot of road signage that says, not a public access beyond here, do not go beyond here. But we needed that to be a red road for those residences back there. So we tried to mitigate the concerns, because the residents back there had the same concerns. And I think that helped, so.
so when the bike trail was put in here, the commissioners voted on it, but they didn't take any consideration to the private property owners, 0. They didn't build any parking lots for the people to park. The bicyclers can go there, I mean, it's their right, but they opened the park up for bicyclers with no parking lots, no access to it. What's the county, they want me to build a fence and a gate on my property to keep them out, but what's the county doing to protect me?
And it's our
I mean,
private property.
They opened the gate at the old dump, which 4 cars can park in. It's
And
supposed to
then
be for
they-
horses, there's no access for horse trailers or anything in there.
And they
The
park on
other-
that corner.
The other parking lot is a culvert they threw in the ditch, covered up with gravel, and it's in the sagebrush. And I wonder, did they pay a high-impact fee
I did.
for any of this? Because we did on our road that we're getting a red road sign on, we paid all that.
Mhm.
What did the BLM pay? What did they do for the county to use that road?
Well, I can't speak to the culvert. Rob would be the one to speak for the culvert, whether there was a permit pulled for that. As far as a
I
high
know
impact,
it's happened.
high impact or not,
our
I don't
stuff.
have that reference in front of me right now, so I can't answer that question.
But it's like open the stadium with no parking lot.
Right. And now they're coming down and parking on our property because of it, and now we have a red road.
So where are they parking at on your property? Just,
Either right at the mailboxes,
Or
we
they
had
drive
them all the way
completely through.
completely
So
back
right
to the
on-
back gate on BLM.
right off of 39 Road? Or
Well, it's half a
on
mile.
39 Road?
Yeah,
Place.
it's, yeah.
Gerald probably knows more.
It's on that Mesa Verde Aqueduct, which is, there is not an easement for a road.
No.
There's an easement for driveways. There is not an easement for road. That is only an easement for the aqueduct.
So we kind of have a couple different issues here. You don't have any issues with the guys using the road going back, they just don't have a place to park that's not on your private property.
Well, of
We
course
don't
I want it, I don't
yeah.
want anybody out there.
Well, yeah,
No.
sure. I mean, but
Yeah,
the reality of it is,
for sure.
is
It's
they can
public land.
access
It's
it.
public land.
And
Yeah.
I mean, this has literally been an argument. They get off their bicycles and we have to have an argument. This is a road. I looked on the map. See, it's right here. It's not a road. It's private property. And that's now we've got a sign. And so it's just gonna be worse. This is something that we've been battling, before the red road, but now it's gonna be even worse.
Okay. All right.
Can we be a red road
Is there
with
any
sign
other, I got to keep going because it's public comment. It's really not we're going to keep going. I appreciate your comments, but I'm going to ask for other public comment.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We can't have a red road on the map and not have it signed. I mean, that's not really something that's reasonable to do, because that would defeat the purpose, so I just want to get that in there.
Right. So since we are still in public comment, I have to ask, is there any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, then I'll close the public comment session of this, and I'll bring it back to our discussion for the commissioners and Mr. Roth as far as it relates to the rest of resolution number 14 for the county roadmap.
I guess my question is, so all these properties like this, where there is more residents than just one down that driveway or two down that driveway, there's a possibility of getting a red road sign put on all those.
If it accesses
What-
more than 2 residents to stay consistent with the traffic code, or what did you call it?
Well, it's in the road standards. It's in the document that the road department goes off of prior really to the GIS office, applying that to the red road system. So it's more than 2. Of course, we don't typically do that for 3 homes. We would typically want to avoid a number of unnecessary red roads unless we see it really, and again, a reasonable threshold. Length is one thing, distance that it goes back to, in the properties, the number of tracks that it accesses, which is the number of possible homes you can have, and the number of current homes that you can have. So in this case, we're currently looking at 4 homes. Might be some question as far as the number of tracks, but I would put that in, 4 to 6 tracts of land back in there and future development. So while we could have assigned an address for this new subdivision that went in and the new home that went in 2 years ago, we could have assigned it a 39. In my opinion, that wasn't looking forward to the future in the future development possibility back in there. Now, I don't really look at extenuating circumstances. It's family land. They don't intend to sell it. They don't intend to develop it. I look at just general trends of what happens when we have vacant tracts of land that could be developed. So try to apply that pretty much evenly as far as what the potential is. And we're definitely over those thresholds as far as what we would typically assign a red road. So we did that in this case. But we don't want more red roads than we feel are necessary. So I guess the question is it necessary? Because how do you identify the homes? How do you label
Right,
the
no,
homes when you have a number of homes?
I get that, and I express that.
You can't help anybody if you can't find it.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, you would probably need 2. Like, you'd probably need all the address markers at the intersection of 39, and then you would need them at each driveway going through there. And then you would need them also for the future residences to have them at both locations. So in the case of a red road, hey, it's a named red road, you turn there, and then you identify them at the driveways, which is typically what we want people to do.
Okay. Comment, question, gentlemen?
If we accept this road, or if we remove it, I don't see it making a difference one way or another. I mean, the problem will still persist. It may grow. But I don't see the problem going away one way or another. I think this might be addressed with a sign. I mean, signs don't make much difference anymore anyway, but signage like we have out at the bike trail out here.
Phil's World.
Phil's World, yeah. It's been a while. But that might help a little. I mean, to address this is not a public access Montezuma County maintained road. It's private access.
That's why I think we have 2 separate issues
I
here.
think so.
I mean, if I'm looking at emergency services, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but when you have a road that tees off and you get a 39 road address, you're going down 39 until you actually pass it, and then you're trying to figure out, where am I going? Because it's a T or a
Right.
Y in this situation.
I think we have to
The
identify this
situation
road.
is you know, with the bike access and creating a parking lot, that's a totally separate issue, and that can be dealt with. But to stay consistent, I think we do have to identify it. But that's just,
Well, I just see where it's potentially could be a lot. Just for instance, my place down by the airport. That goes across road goes across my place for half a mile. And there's actually 4 residents back there. It's all on one plot of land, but there's 4 residents back there. But the only address is out clear across my place on Road 23. So does that need a red sign?
do you have a red sign?
No. And
Where's this at again?
I really don't want one.
Yeah,
And I can understand their
Across south of
situation,
town.
because when people see that road sign that Montezuma County puts up, they think they have a right to access that. They do. Whether it's red or green or whatever, people don't understand that. And they're gonna drive down that road.
Well, I think people are gonna access, I think she made a good point, you can't see it, or they're small enough you can't see it anyway, so they're gonna access, people are gonna access pretty much where they wanna go until they're confronted with it, so. And I, you know, I understand their situation, but with growth and being from emergency services, identification of roads is a big deal.
Oh, it's critical. I mean, it's critical.
Super big deal. And
It is a big deal. That's why we started, back when I was commissioner before, started readdressing all these places so you could actually find it, because it was really messed up.
It was.
And I'm not saying it's straight now, but it's still, we started trying to address this back in 2006 or so, sometime back then.
I don't like putting out more red roads signs that are necessary. It makes more work for us, and it's potentially, changes situations. We have to readdress residents that have been out there for a while. I don't like doing it. Again, when we see development potential because of the number of vacant tracks, I can just assume that at some point those will get sold and developed, despite intentions, and the current number of residences. So it's triggered by development activity. So essentially, we don't go looking for those in a lot of cases. Either if there's an issue, emergency services will tell us about them and we'll address them, or it's spurred by certain development activities that we then analyze those at that time. So.
it's not public comment, but since you're public services, I'll let you.
If I can, just as far as the emergency services go,
Rick, I still need you to state your name and who you're
oh,
with.
sorry. Rick Spencer, Cortez Fire. As far as emergency services go, having that road sign, yes, that is good. However, now we use technology. It's the best, worst thing that's happened to the society as a whole. So we use a program that will actually pinpoint a mobile home and a mobile home park. It'll actually pinpoint an apartment building and the apartment at 620 East Empire. It'll put a pin on the location of the apartment, not just the address. So for that side of things, as far as responding for emergency services in this situation over there, as long as those addresses were in the county map off of 39 or whatever you guys decide to do, if we use those systems that we have, it should direct us to that property. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Any other questions or comments or concerns?
Yes, I have a question for him. Are all the services using that same program? Okay.
So all of our local, Ancus, Dolores, Cortez, Pleasant View, everybody is using that same system?
There's a different systems that are used. Active 911 is one of them. Bricks 911 is another one, and then First Do Size Up is another one. So Mancus uses Active 911 and Bricks, and then all the other public safety organizations in the county use one or the other or both. So yes, everybody does use those.
Hospital included?
Yep. Everybody.
And that's, we do want things to work that way with technology. However, when technology doesn't work, we still have our roadmap and our address grid and signed names. So, you know, you still need those reflective sign. You still need things signed out there in reality, you know. At some point, maybe we'll start assigning addresses based on latitude, longitude, and everything will be consistent, but we're not quite there yet.
Other questions or comments? I mean, I just, and as bad as this is gonna sound to you guys, because I do feel, I feel your pain. I understand what you're saying. So I have one more question. When was that path approved? It was just, was it last year or
it's
2 years ago?
Started 2 years ago. It's been in the works for a while, so it's really the perfect storm as far as creating the situation they're experiencing.
Okay. All right. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
Mr. Attorney, do you have any suggestions?
You know, legally, I mean, the mapping system follows state statute with the red roads and the green roads defined. I mean, this isn't necessarily a legal issue. Certainly, consistency is always important when you're talking about doing anything. And so, but yeah, no, I mean, statutes don't bear on this.
Close public comment.
Can I close it?
Okay. I would so move, we adopt Resolution 14, 2022, the adoption of the 2022 county roadmap. Which includes but is not limited to determining a system of primary and secondary county roads, reviewing changes to the road system, and specifying a 60-foot right-of-way on all county roads.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept and adopt resolution number 14, 2022, and adoption of the county road map. Any further discussion?
No?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 With you guys and the road department and sheriff's office, can you help these folks? Okay.
Okay. With that, I'll close that public hearing, and it's way beyond time. So 9:40, we have another public hearing. So I will bring up planning and zoning. This will be,
Sorry. You ready for me?
all right, I'm ready. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria,
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver,
Here.
Administrator Anderson,
Here.
Attorney McLaren,
Here.
and Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. This public hearing is continued from October 11th, 2022 at 9:10 a.m. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed two-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Keith and April Gray on property located at 18255 Road DD, Pleasant View, Colorado, consisting of 40 acres more or less located east of Road 18, north of Road DD, situated in Section 27, Township 39 North, Range 17 West, NPM. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15th, 2022 at 9:40 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. dated the 17th day of October, 2022. Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. First published in the Journal on Wednesday, September 28, 2022.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Donna, do you have the,
Mr. Gray is here. So they currently have, just a review of a 40-acre parcel, and they're looking to split it into a 2-lot minor. The reason for the continuance before, at the southwest corner, there was a mobile home there that has since been removed, and there is a barn there that the surveyors have now revised their plat. You can bring that up if you would, Travis. So that now that barn sits just over 30 feet
30
away
feet
from
away.
the proposed new property line.
so it's not
compli-
quite at that diagonal, it kind of moves just a little bit.
Right, that
Yeah,
line,
so-
that line ran straight before, and now they did a slight correction there to bypass that barn and not have to move
So
that.
that's where the old mobile home was that's been since removed.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, we got it out there yesterday.
Yeah. And now that it's gone, the new line is compliant with the land use code and it meets the setback requirement?
Correct.
Yep.
The other condition, they added that 20-foot easement for the electrical line to get to the west lot. That's the existing power that runs to the residents.
To lot number 2. Okay. All right, would you like to add anything, Mr. Gray?
Nope, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well then, being a public hearing, Commissioners, before I open this up, do you have questions or comments?
No.
Okay. Well, then I will open this up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close it, and I will bring it back to the Commissioners, gentlemen.
No further comment.
Okay,
I'm fine.
all right.
I move we approve this proposed 2-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Keith and April Gray on property located at 18255 Road DD, Pleasant View, Colorado.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed 2-lot minor subdivision and rezoning application submitted by Keith and April Gray on property located at 18255 Road DD, Pleasant View, Colorado. Any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will close this public hearing, and there you go, sir.
Okay,
You're
thank you.
completed. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you.
All right. So, being it's past 9:50, we do have another public hearing, and Kim, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Candelaria?
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver?
Here.
Administrator Anderson?
Here.
Attorney McLaren?
Here.
Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of a proposed single-lot development and AR 3-9 rezoning application submitted by Christopher Catron on property located at 15125 Road 28, Dolores, Colorado, consisting of 40 acres more or less located west of Road 28, east of Highway 145, situated in Section 29, Township 37 North, Range 15 West, NPM. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15, 2022, at 9:50 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated the 17th day of October, 2022, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado, published in the Journal on Wednesday, October 26, 2022.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don?
Yeah, Mr. Catron is proposing to do a single lot development. splitting off a little over 4 acres in the northeast corner of his property and retaining the house and remaining 35-plus acres.
Okay, would you like to add anything?
I really have nothing to add.
Okay, all right, gentlemen, questions or comments at this point in time?
No.
All right. Well, then I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium. State your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close that section of this, and I will bring it back to the commissioners. Gentlemen.
I have nothing further.
Okay.
I would so move that we approve the single lot development and AR 3 through 9 rezoning application submitted by Chris Catrone on property located 15125 Road 28, Dolores.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed single lot development and AR 3 through 9 rezoning application submitted by Christopher Catrone on property located at 15125 Road 28, Dolores, Colorado. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I will close this public hearing, and
Thank
there you
you.
go, sir. You bet.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. Ten o'clock, we are way past that. We do have another public hearing. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria,
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver,
Here.
Administrator Anderson,
Here.
Attorney McLaren.
Here.
Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of a proposed subdivision amendment application to lots 1 and 21 of the Butler subdivision submitted by Haynes Enterprises LLC on property located at 24114 Road 37, Dolores, Colorado, consisting of 1.32 acres more or less. The Holpeck Family Trust located at 24118 Road 37, Dolores, Colorado, consisting of 11.90 acres more or less, both located east of Highway 145, situated in Section 11, Township 38 North, Range 17 West, 10 p.m. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15th, 2022 at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated the 17th day of October, 2022, Kim Purcell Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado, published in the Journal on Wednesday, October 26, 2022.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, would you give us an overview on this, please?
Yes, the Hennis family enterprises are looking to do a boundary line adjustment, but being in a subdivision, it's a subdivision amendment with their neighbor to the north. They are looking to gain a triangle piece there on the right-hand side that crosses the river, and then another triangle piece that would actually connect their property to Road 36.
Well, it's just kind of a driveway.
Yeah, it's a driveway to 3 or 4 houses in there, but basically they're trying to square up their property from a perspective there to gain riverfront access and then abut the road, the driveway there. Nothing's going to change as far as the existing residents. And they did receive the variance for having a lot smaller than 3 acres that was previously approved 3 or 4 weeks ago. But they're actually getting bigger, not smaller.
I think they gained like a half an acre or something, right, if my memory serves me correct.
And the property to the north is still 11 plus acres. So it doesn't drop below the 10 acre threshold.
Okay. All right. Questions at this time?
None.
All right. Well, then I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close it, and I will bring it back to the commissioners. Do you have any other questions for the applicant?
I do not.
I don't have
Okay.
any problems with it.
Well, then, what is your pleasure?
I move we approve the proposed subdivision amendment application for lots 1 and 21 of the Butler subdivision submitted by Hennis Enterprises LLC on property located at 24114 Road 37, Dolores.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed subdivision amendment application to lots number 1 and 21 of the Butler subdivision submitted by the Hennis Enterprise LLC on property located at 24114 Road 37, Dolores, Colorado. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I will close this public hearing. Motion carries.
All right. Right, yeah. Make sure you guys sign it if you're gonna be out of it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, being at past 10:10, we have another public hearing. Kim, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Candelaria?
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey?
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver?
Here.
Administrator Anderson?
Here.
Attorney McLaren?
Here.
Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of a proposed common lot line change to lot numbers 13 and 15 of the Rustic Ridge Phase 2 subdivision submitted by Troy and Lori Mott on properties located at 26972 Road T.8 and to be determined Road T.8, Dolores, Colorado, both consisting of 3.50 acres more or less, both located east of Road 27, south of Road T.8, situated in Section 13, Township 37 North, Range 16 West, NPM. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15, 2022 at 10:10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated the 17th day of October, 2022, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, October 22nd, 2022. And thank you for not laughing at me when I mess up.
All right, thank you, Kim. All right, Don, would you give us an overview of this?
Yes, Troy and Lori Mott are proposing to consolidate the two lots that they have in the Rustic Ridge Phase 2 subdivision. They were just gonna combine Lot 13 and Lot 15. That is listed in the covenants as being acceptable. And so they're just combining their property and would be one parcel.
All right, I wish they were all just this straightforward.
I do too.
All right, questions or comments, gentlemen?
And it does have a red signed road.
I can see that, T.8, T.6, what is that?
T.8.
T.8?
0.8.
All right. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
All right. Questions, comments, gentlemen?
None.
All right. Well, then I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record. You may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this hearing, and I will bring it back to the commissioners. Gentlemen.
I would so move we approve the proposed common lot line change to lots number 13 and 15 of the Rustic Ridge Phase 2 subdivision submitted by Troy and Lori Mott on properties located at 26972 Road T.8 and to be determined Road T.8, Dolores.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed common lot line change to lot numbers 13 and 15 of the Rustic Ridge Phase 2 subdivision submitted by Troy and Lori Mott on properties located at 26972 Road T.8 and to be determined Road T.8, Dolores, Colorado. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll close this public hearing. Motion carries.
Right on time.
I'm still 2 minutes behind. All right, we are at 9:20, so we can move right forward. So this is another public hearing. Kim, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney McLaren.
Here.
Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of a proposed single-lot development, an AR 3-9 rezoning application submitted by Brad and Carrie Musto on property located at 13698 Road 17, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 150.14 acres, more or less, located south of Road P, east of Road 17, situated in Section 4, Township 36 North, Range 17 West, N and PM. The hearing will be held Tuesday, November 15, 2022 at 10:20 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated the 17th day of October, 2022, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, October 26, 2022.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, give us an overview here.
Yes, the Mustos are looking to create a 10-acre single-lot development out of their 140-acre parcel. The property to the north will actually be connected to the rest of the acreage on the south with a 60-foot wide connector strip. They pasture their cows on the north property, and you can see there their cattle drive down to the south property for pasturing and watering. So it's just a single lot development for his daughter and her husband, and they already have an existing residence there. Address, house, all the utilities are in. They're just separating that off from the rest of the family farm.
Would you like to add anything, Mr. Musto?
I just noticed that drawing is not quite right. The line was going to be more north of their house. It's doesn't change the material part of it, but
So conceptually, this is correct, it just may move a foot or two, or?
well, it'd be about 300 feet.
Farther to the north of the house?
Yeah. Yeah, the line should be here.
Travis, can you go to the other map, the location map or zoning map? Right there if it works. So where that jog is it
Yeah,
where the north line
that
would
should,
connect?
where that jog is, should be the north side of that 10-acre lot.
Does it change the south boundary?
Yeah, it would move 330 feet
Just
Okay.
north also.
Just the whole 10 acres would slide up
Yeah.
Okay.
to the north.
Sorry about that. It's close attention.
So that still doesn't pose any setback issues with the existing residents?
Yeah, we would be well within our 30 feet of the residence to the south. we would still be way beyond our 30 feet to the
Oh,
south.
yeah. North and south.
Okay. All right. Questions, gentlemen?
No.
All right. Well, then I will open this up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment section of this application. I will bring it back to the commissioners. Gentlemen, any further questions or comments? Okay.
I move we approve this proposed single lot development in AR 3-9 rezoning application submitted by Brad and Carrie Musto on property located at 13698 Road 17, Cortez, Colorado.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed single lot development in AR 3-9 rezoning application submitted by Brad and Carrie Musto on property located at 13698 Road 17, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 150.14 acres more or less. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I will close this public hearing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, folks.
You guys have a great day. Okay, we have 4 more items to address with planning, if I'm still reading this correctly.
The first item is just signing the after-the-fact variance that was previously approved. We can do that. We've got several things to
Okay.
have signed. Item number 2 is a boundary line adjustment. I guess at this point it would be an after-the-fact boundary line adjustment. This was done in 2018 without coming to the county commissioners. The plat was drawn up, signed, and recorded. And that's all that was done with it, and the deeds were done from that. So Mr. Lamb is in the process of wanting to sell that property. So to get it compliant, we are now bringing it to the county commissioners for approval of that boundary line adjustment. What happened in 2018, there was a small rectangular parcel. Can you bring that up off of Dropbox? That was not connected to the Lamb property. It was moved. Basically, the square footage of that rectangle was divided up in 2 triangles and connected to the Lamb property so that a single lot development could be created for the Pleasant View Fire Department. But for some reason, nobody went through the process to do this legally. So now we're just following up with that boundary line adjustment application for approval, and it would be a supplemental plat that goes with what was previously recorded. It depicts the same.
So this, we discussed all of this, what, a month ago, 2 months ago? with-
Yeah, where the
with
triangle's on the
Rice.
north and one triangle's on the west.
Yeah,
Yep, that's,
Yep.
that rectangle to the west was deeded and part of that same Lamb property, but it wasn't connected. So it's just cleaning up a convoluted mess that for some reason wasn't taken through the proper channels.
okay. Any other questions?
No.
We've kind of pretty well hammered this one.
Right.
All right.
I would move we approve and sign the supplemental Mylar for a boundary line adjustment submitted by Arville Lamb, agent Robin Rice, on property located 15297 Road CC, Pleasant View.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the approval for signatures of supplemental Mylar for a boundary line adjustment submitted by Arville Lamb, agent Robin Rice, on property located at 15297 Road CC, Pleasant View, Colorado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
And
Item
it just
number
continues from 2018. Basin Co-op on Highway 491 had a high-impact permit reviewed and approved in 2018 for the addition of two 60,000-gallon propane tanks, as well as a fertilizer mixing and storing warehouse. Unfortunately, that document was never produced or recorded. So we have now produced that document so that we can record that amendment to their existing high-impact permit that they had from 2000, just for the record. And since it was previously approved, I don't know, Ian, if we've got the meeting minutes from both P&Z and from the BOCC that approved it originally. It's just documenting it and recording it.
So just so I understand, there was a public hearing, the whole process was completed.
Correct.
The board approved it, and then there was just a clerical error that didn't allow the documents to
Right. The
get.
document wasn't produced, signed, or recorded.
So this just needs to be recorded properly then? This just needs signatures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm comfortable moving forward with it. I mean, it's in the minutes and it's been approved, and so really this was a clerical error that just needs to be cleaned up.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
So the next item is with Basin Co-op. Don, you want to come up? I have Don Dugart here, who's the president and CEO of Basin Co-op. They have a variance setback application. Cruzan Construction submitted a septic permit application, I believe it was a week ago. So in the course of that getting entered into our system, we got with Don and just let him know first that the 2018 document that actually covered a proposed future warehouse was approved, but it was approved in 2018, so the vested rights for that future building had expired per state statute. So now they are going to have to apply for another amendment to that property. But in the course of those discussions, we found out that the contractor has poured the foundation for an 80 by 150-foot warehouse. Unfortunately, it's not set back 50 feet from the property line. So they are requesting a setback variance at 41 feet to the two properties owned by the same owner to the south of the Basin Co-op property.
Do you have a map of that?
Yeah,
Travis?
it should be right there.
And do we have non-opposition letters from that property?
Yes, that's,
Okay.
that's the other
That's what we
document.
were, gotcha.
Yeah, the same owner owns both those properties that would be abutted by the building.
And that's where you plan on putting your fertilizer storage? No?
No, that's just going to be dry storage bags, feed bags and stuff like that. Fertilizer's already installed. It's the building up on the upper right.
I have a problem.
Comments?
No.
You do have non-opposition letters from that landowner to the south? you
Yep,
said?
we do.
Can you
It's
bring that up, please, Travis?
right there.
That was gonna be my question, because now we're going against what the land use code is saying,
Yeah.
and it's,
That landowner is actually happier now because with the installation of the structure, they will put a swale in to divert water flow actually away from his property, because it was just sheet drainage to his property with no development there, prairie dogs and weeds. So,
and we do have those non-opposition letters? Is that it? Oh, okay,
yeah, same guy owns both lots.
both of them, okay. Okay,
So I guess just to elaborate for everybody in the public, anytime you're doing any commercial, industrial projects, you've got to contact the planning office. Setbacks are not universal. There's different conditions, stipulations. Just like everything else, it's not just free and whatever you want to do, so. Again, it's another contractor that's been here for 30 years, and they didn't contact us, and they got it wrong.
okay. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
Major.
I move to sign this variance application submitted by Basin Co-op agent Don Durkot on property located at 11654 Highway 491, Cortez, Colorado, bearing the setback from 50 foot to 41 foot on the south side of the lot.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign a variance application submitted by Basin Co-op Inc. agent Don Ducart on property located at 11654 Highway 491, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 9.87 acres more or less. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'll close, well, it's not a public hearing, so
Thank you.
we're good, thank you.
Thank you.
And I would just really like to echo what Don just said there to all of the people listening, you know, there are setbacks. Obviously, this person has done their due diligence with their neighbor and have a non-opposition letter signed, but there are land use code requirements out there that we really try to stay consistent with, so please contact the planning department to get everything in, to get it done properly. Okay, ready for us to sign?
Yes,
All right.
we've got 2 plats and 2 variances.
All right. We will come on down.
All right.
Maybe it's in a part of the county deal.
Oh, it might be.
Okay, page 1 and page 2 are done. Yeah? I'm gonna make it, Jerry.
Yeah.
You guys are quick now. We'll make it.
Back to work. Public commenter left, so we're all right.
Yeah. I think everybody left, right?
Figured she wanted a piece of us on County
Oh, I
Road
do too.
26.
But, no comment at all?
Yeah,
We're all right. Yeah, I think we can rock now.
make all 5 of those guys come up here at the
Oh.
same time.
Okay. Not to cut you short, but do you have anything else for us?
Just need to confer with Ian on contacting a couple other property owners. I don't know if you want to go over that now or get with me later.
Just to give you guys a brief overview, the property on Road P, we sent the certified letter and nobody picked it up. And so we're gonna have to go about it a different way. And then the property on Road 26.5 is in trust and looks like it was never properly probated. And so that one's a little bit unique too, in terms of where we're at, so we're working through that. You guys picked some,
So we picked
some
two very difficult ones?
You wanted the top 3, you might as well go with the problem
Learn
child.
as we go.
Well, I guess we picked, yeah. We picked
Then the other one is on 25, just southwest of 184. Just, I don't know if you've been by there, the cleanup was to have taken place in October.
I have not been by there, but at least they were trying to make an attempt to get it done. We'll have to,
That was the story, but the problem was there last year. So it's the same story and it's just gonna continue.
okay. Well, maybe we'll have to take a drive. Okay. All right. Thank you,
All right.
Don.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. All right.
Thank you all.
Actually, I do have one more item. From P&Z's meeting last week, we are gonna have 2 commissioners that, one, their term is due up next month, Mike Rosso, and he is not gonna reapply to continue. And, Stan Pierce also, let me know that he does not plan to continue. We have not received their formal notice, but I told them to get that to us sooner than later.
And that, their term is up in the end of December? So the current list that we have, do we have anybody on it?
We had a
when
list
we
from 2 years ago.
Yeah, we established
There was
that.
one person left there. I have not seen him for about 6 months. He had shown up for random P&Z meetings. We were contacted a month ago by another lady that was interested. So I asked for her application and letter of interest. I have not received that, but I will reach out to her to see if she's still interested. It's just rather we want to open it up for more applications and more interviews.
I think the last time we did it, we opened it up published it, and then we had like maybe 10, I don't know. And we interviewed
Several.
them so that we could fill the seats and then make a list so that we had it, and we've been able to pull from that list. If there is one other, I would say try to reach out to whoever that person is. If they have any interest, they may or may not.
Right.
But then we should probably get that. If you guys
Get it out as soon as we
want
can.
to get a publication and get it in the proper publications right away so that we can set up interviews, so that we can fill those seats, because January's not very far away.
No, it isn't. For sure, it'll be here fast.
And if they're both going to resign or their term is up, you don't have a full board then.
Correct.
So I
We'll
would
be
get
one
that,
short.
I would get that submitted immediately. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to advertise still.
So
All right.
advertise it and then kind of put together a schedule as soon as you can for interview process, and then we'll get it on our calendar and we'll just get it going.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm on page 3 of this agenda. Public comment session. Board of County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during the public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments, and comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted. Participants may not yield their time to other. With that, the public comment session is open.
Dexter, you want to say anything?
Seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this, and I'm going to go right straight into county operations. Dustin with our building and grounds maintenance.
Morning.
Good morning.
We've got the walk-ins at the detention center scheduled for next Monday to start, as long as all parts come in on Friday of this week. We did get the asphalt repaired at the Montezuma County Combined Courts in the back where we did the gutter work. At Annex 3, the office in the basement, I'm hoping to get it textured this week and either started painted this week or early next week. And then we had a janitorial walkthrough yesterday. Bids will be in this Friday, and I'll bring it back to you at the workshop on, I believe it's the 5th of December. And then probably for approval on the 6th. And then we had all of our kitchen hoods and fire extinguishers inspected, along with those tested last week. That's all I have. Do you have anything?
No.
Oh,
Moving right along. You're busy.
Thank you.
Just real quick, I forwarded you an email from our insurance company on the water damage, so.
Okay. We'll take care of that. Thank you.
all right, thank you, Dustin. IT, Mr. McClain.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'll make this really quick. We're getting ready to do this switch over. I'm waiting for a few more things to come in. We have about 115 cables to pull. And then we'll probably hopefully start on this tomorrow. Our hope is about to take us about 2 weeks because we have to work around all this. So we should be able to whip that out pretty quick once everything gets here. We're working on putting in new cameras at the sheriff's office, trying to in between all of this. So hopefully we'll get those done here down the road pretty soon. So 'cause that has to all be rewired too. And other than that, we just keep chugging forward. Stay busy.
Okay.
We've answered responded to 2,722 help desks since March.
How many?
2,722, the three of us. And that does not include what we call drive-by, which means we'll go somewhere and they'll go, oh, I forgot to tell you this, or the phone calls. So I'd
That's
say it's
just-
probably in the neighborhood of 3,500.
Okay. Questions for him, gentlemen? All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Sheriff, we're going to go beyond you because you're going to be a bigger discussion and unfinished business. So, sure you are.
Thanks for coming.
Matt, District Attorney. Usually we get Clarissa.
Usually, she is unfortunately outstairs.
So since I saw you, I'm going to bring you down as quickly as I can.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to let the commissioners know that we did have a new applicant start on Monday. She is in county court right now with Mr. Reed. Her name is Verily Jones. We expect good things from her. She has some previous prosecution experience and already had a homestead in New Mexico. So the housing situation that I discussed with you guys turned out not to be a problem there. So we are very thankful, very grateful to have her. Jeremy and I were in trial just 2 weeks ago for, 6 days. And we had then just one other attorney to cover all of Montezuma County. It was a bit of a stretch for poor Mark, but we're getting by, and we're working through that issue. We also have one of our legal assistants who will be taking the bar in February. Send her prayers and good luck, because we absolutely need that to happen this time. So that's where we're at as far as staffing issues are concerned. I wanted to bring you guys up to speed on that. We're working through our trial backlog, and we're getting there. So very excited about where we're at right now and our ability to move forward here in the future. Open it up to questions for you guys. I know there's a couple other people over there that want me to move right along.
They look pretty comfortable there.
You know, I really don't have any questions. I'm glad to hear that we're filling some of those positions in there and that we can get everything moving, the process moving forward quicker. So I'm pleased to hear that.
I see you moved closer to home with a case out of Dolores County.
Yeah, a very an unfortunate situation. That was the trial Jeremy and I were in. Got through day 6 of trial, and then we were missing 3 jurors, 2 court staff, and 1 of the other attorneys in the case, and it turns out that you can't go forward from there. I really wanted to try that case in the jurisdiction where it occurred. I think that that's what's appropriate. We very rarely get to use that courthouse in Dolores County. The commissioners there were very, very gracious to us, gave us space for the family, in that case to meet with us downstairs every day during the course of the trial. I can't say enough good things about their accommodations for us. It's unfortunate that we had to change venue, but the good news is the best available venue is now Montezuma County, and so I think that'll be a little bit more convenient for our office, and hopefully a little bit more convenient for the victims in this case who have to travel from out of state. So,
All right.
and if y'all don't mind, can I steal 2 minutes of your clerk's time real quick? I just have...
You gotta ask her.
Absolutely.
just have 2 things to chat with her about. Thank you so much, guys.
Yep.
You bet.
Well, Mr. Spratling, you can go ahead and mosey on down here. Now, we know who's quick and who's not quick.
I got like 3 minutes. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Kim.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Travis. So you got my report, and if you read it, that's my report.
Okay.
I pretty much, everything you saw in there, other than I'm still working on the grants. CIP grant, I'm waiting for them to return some messages. The generator grant, I'm waiting for the lady to approve benefit cost analysis that we sent in, and I'm waiting on EMPG grant people to let me into the portal where I'm prohibited. So other from waiting on them, grants are moving forward, everything's fine. You got any questions? We're really busy in training and drills this year. I mean, this last 2 months. Been really hooked up on a lot of things. So, and the CWPP that James Diedrich has been diligently working on forever this year. I'm getting the signatures as we speak, so we're almost done. So we'll have it before you pretty soon. So I'm good, short and sweet.
Thank you. Very good.
All right.
All right.
Have a good rest of the.
Thank you. All right, Cortez Fire Protection District. Mr. Spencer.
I got the sheriff here.
Yeah, well, that is true. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So last month, 262 calls for Cortez. We're staying right at that 35% overlapping. So calls back to back. Year-to-date total for us, we're up to 2,930 calls. So we're 200 calls busier this year than we were last year at the same time. So we're just ticking up. On that, I ran a report this morning. There are 5 of our members who individually have run over 500 calls a year, or this year already. And when you look at other agencies around us that are running 1,000 to 1,200 calls for the organization, we have one member that has run 664 calls this year by himself, so pretty busy. Last month we had 534 hours of training logged, and then one thing just to touch on, we started the countywide fire academy last Monday, the 7th, in Pleasant View. They're doing hazmat up there, and then they'll rotate to all the other fire districts in the county. They'll finish up in May. Biggest class we've ever had, so there's 18 in this academy, and Cortez was able to get 7 new volunteer members, which is crazy. I've been back 5 years in January, and we've tried to get volunteers every year, and every year we've gotten maybe 1, maybe 2, and then they go away. But this year we got 7, and there's 18 in the academy, so that's really awesome. Any questions?
So you still use volunteers also?
We do, yeah. We've never got rid of that program. We just have never gotten anybody that's wanted to volunteer. And if they have come on as a volunteer, the goal is to get paid, to move up. So most of the time, what I anticipate with this group is they'll go through the academy, they'll get certified, and then once we have reserve spots open up, they'll test for those. But yeah, we haven't had very many people that have wanted to volunteer. So to get 7 was great for us.
Good.
So yeah, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, unfinished, well, I'm sorry. Sheriff. Because you're going to go under unfinished business also, as it relates to the Southern Health Partners, so.
Good afternoon. No,
Good
good morning.
morning.
Guys gotta lighten up a little bit here.
Okay, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. Okay.
It takes you that long to get logged in.
Hey, I've been ready. Okay. Calls for service for the month of October had a total of 1,530. Again, the clerk's office gets hammered because we just completed in that month 122 vehicle inspections for titles and registrations, 247 traffic contacts. One of the big things is going to be we're still having issues with driver complaints As you can see, there was 29 reckless driving complaints. And 11 ready reports, which is drunk driving reports. Several of those were contacted and were under the influence. Next is going to be the livestock at large. Again, we're just having issues. They just won't stay in their pastures. I don't know what to say, but there's some, at least we're getting them identified and back to the livestock owner. There have been a few that had not been identified, and they were taken up by the brand inspector and taken to the sale barn. Whatever happened with them, I'm not sure, but at least they're not running around in people's yards, pastures, and on the highway and stuff. So, any questions about calls for service? Okay.
No.
For the jail, today we have 57 inmates. We've been dropping down in numbers.
That's good.
Which I was just shocked, okay, that I had one day I only had 54. It's like, oh my God, do we have anybody escape or what? So, but you know, it's good. But they're not staying in custody very long. For transports, I already let you know that this is going to increase even more, especially with the juvenile, as you can see. 7 adults were transported, 1 juvenile, and the juvenile transports are what's going to eat up so much of the time because I have to send 2 deputies, one being a female. As far as the cost for transports, for the month of October, we had 6, $133 for per diem motel costs are there. Total of $297.75. For monthly arrests, or for the daily arrests within the month of October, you can see how many come in and how many go out. It's a constant revolving door constantly. So 121 arrests, 125 releases. And these are the daily numbers. As you can see, it really started to drop in the month of October. So we're doing well there. However, it's the cost of food that just keeps going up. So I'm not saving anything at all. For
Is our rate,
what's
Sheriff,
that?
where we raised our rate to the $100, are we covering it now? I mean, are we at least breaking even?
Yes, except for the state charges where
Yeah.
there isn't going to be anything that's going to be coming in. And when you talk about breaking even, you can look at the city of Cortez arrests in the billing for the month of October is for 80 days of inmates, that's $8,000. So that's what they were billed. We did not have any in Mancos or Dolores. We hardly ever do. If they are, they're only there for a day or two. This is the DOC holds that we had in the month of October. They were billed for $4,200 for a total of 42 days. These have all been transported and released. I have 4 now waiting for DOC as of today. So this is what was charged. So there's a total cost of $207,300. Again, it's the state and county charges that this is what it is at that amount. With the fees that were taken in, with the sheriff's fees, we received $33,294.10. So, any questions about the jail report?
I have none.
Okay. As far as, I had a meeting with, or I met with Travelers Health Insurance on Friday, myself and Lieutenant Pierce. Went over everything that they wanted to go through as far as the policies, training, procedures, both on the sheriff's side and in the jail. And they toured the jail. I got 2 thumbs up for what we're doing. So they're okay. They're on board. They understand what's going on and they like it. So there we go. We're still moving forward. As far as Southern Health Partners, the reason why I didn't bring that contract in is that we still have some issues with it that I've got to try and work through. The county attorney has done his part of bringing issues forward and helping with that. It's now in my court, and I've got to get some issues that I'm concerned with resolved in that contract, and I hope that I can. It being held to paying for personnel 7 days a week, that includes holidays, vacation time, whatever goes on. That's a scheduling issue on their part. That we shouldn't have any issues with that. Right. The medical records and stuff is another question that we've got to get resolved, so that I'm responsible for every single one of those inmates. And if anything happens to them or any medical care, I've got to have access to those records, just like we do now. So those are the 2 biggest stumbling blocks, and we'll get that worked out one way or the other. Okay.
Okay. So we've done our part, Ian. You've
Yeah, I
taken
think
care of
the
everything.
good, I think the good thing in the contract is that from an indemnity perspective, if something happens and we're sued because of something that Southern Health Partners did or didn't do, we're going to be indemnified. And so that's the important part from the county's perspective. There's a lot of contractual terms that the sheriff and I have visited about, and so we're going to work through those. But those are more along the lines of staffing issues, holidays, those sorts of things. That
You guys are protected. I'm always sued, so it doesn't matter. My name's always at the top of that. So, and those are the things that I gotta make sure.
So then you'll bring that back to us whenever you get that resolution.
Yeah, I will make sure that I hopefully can bring it in the next BOCC meeting or the one after. Anyway, I have to look and see on your schedule when those are, just to make sure that I've got that.
We will keep you informed, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can tell you the only one we're not having is the one as CCI's winter conference is December
13th.
12th through the 14th. So that Monday, Tuesday, there won't be any meetings, but otherwise we're here every day.
Well, we're ready to go. The thing is that we can't do anything until this is accepted by you and the contract is signed.
Yep.
They won't work with us in trying to get ahead of these policies and procedures and the training until that goes. So it is what it is. We're ready to go. And so it hopefully won't take too much time. The other thing is that last night at the Dolores Town Board meeting, they were given the sheriff's contract for 2023 to review, and I hadn't heard yet from the county attorney, but the other 2 attorneys are okay with it.
Yep,
so,
I looked at it and it's
okay.
fine.
Nothing's changed other than the dates and the amount. So, so that'll go. They'll take action on that next month at the board meeting, and then I'll have it in here to present to you. Whatever the next Tuesday will be that I can get on the agenda. So, okay.
All right.
So.
Very good. Well, the ball's in your court.
Yes, it is. One thing to let you know that the victim witness coordinator that we share with the police department and Mancos and Dolores, She's retiring at the end of December. And so I was approached by the chief of police, and Vern and I have had meetings about what to do with this. They have already a 2-year BOCC grant that's already been approved. They want to, we have some space that that person can actually be at the sheriff's office with them supplying their part in that victim witness coordinator. But what I'm concerned with is when I met with VOCA coordinator in Denver with the chief of police, is that it's a 70% is what they pay for, and then the district attorney's office picks up another from another grant to help offset some of that shortfalling. What I'm concerned with is that I have nothing to offer, and I'm not going to offer, other than what we can do as far as providing a desk and a phone and whatnot. So we're still working on that, and that has to happen sometime next month. And so I will be looking at, discussing that with you when we get some of the details worked out. I don't know what to do with it. It may have to just remain with the police department, because in order for the change to happen, for us to manage that grant and that program, the approved grant can be changed by their board to change it to the sheriff's office instead of the police department. It's been that way with the police department for a long time, years. So I'm not real sure how this is going to work out, but we need to have one. We just all have to sit down and figure out who's going to do what.
This is an important program.
What's that?
This is an important program.
It is.
I've seen this up close and personal function, and it's really important to the victims out there.
Exactly, it is, and it applies to all of those that fall within the Victim Rights Act in the state by statute. There are some that incidents or actual crimes that do not, that this victim witness coordinator has been involved with, which is great. They just don't pay for that.
Right.
And so I've got to figure out how I can work this out. Okay. It's very valuable. We have to have it. We just need to work together to make it happen. We're gonna lose a lot of training and knowledge and skill when she retires next month. So hopefully we'll get somebody that we can actually pick right in there and carry on with it. There will be a lot of training involved, and there's already that dollar figure in that grant for that training. So as well as help from the district attorney's victim witness assistant there. So we'll be able to work with it, and I can reach out to the State Patrol as well and get additional training for them. So we'll see how that goes, just so you know.
All right.
The last thing that I want to talk to you about is a salary increase for an admin division supervisor. That with what we went through in the proposed budgets for next year, it's not very far off, about $1,500 to $2,000 max annual that would be added to that salary. The reason why this needs to be increased is that because I lost a retired grant writer, and this person has taken on the additional duties and responsibilities of that, as well as the additional duties and responsibilities of the supervision of the records section and the finance section. So it's more than justified to increase that $1,500 to $2,000 annually. And so that would be $60,000 salary.
So above what the projected increase is gonna be, this would be the projected $1,500 more?
Yes, yes.
So did we change the job description before we start arbitrarily doing this? I mean, is my first question, because if there's more duties, the job descriptions need to change so that it's reflected with that. Have we
Well,
done that yet?
The job duties and descriptions and responsibilities haven't changed. There's just more work now, with more grants that are actually having to be managed, as well as more supervision in the record section.
So who retired?
What's that?
Who retired?
Cindy Ramsey.
Oh,
Yeah. And she brought in $1.3 million to the sheriff's office in the county, just since 2015. And it was sad to lose her, but for
so I guess
reasons.
that leads me to the question of losing that FTE. Are we gonna backfill that? Do we want, is that, I mean, if she's bringing in that kind of money, do we put this much
It
on
would be
somebody
nice.
else?
It would be nice, but at this time, and I don't anticipate being able to find another person to fill that just in next year. Maybe in 2024, but not in 2023.
So then this is gonna be something else that we would have to put forward to approve in the 2023 budget.
Yeah, it just added to the permanent salary line item. Yes. That's all it is. And the money is in there already. So,
Correct, but per the statute, like Ian has told us, that anything that's a pay adjustment basically comes back to us.
yeah, it's part of the salaries that by statute that you approve overall. Yes.
Right, but this is an increase over what would be approved.
Well, we haven't had that approval yet. It's
No, I
projected to
underst-
be
I
approved, okay?
understand that. I
So
understand
now
that.
is the
It's a
perfect time to do this,
projection.
yes.
It's already in what you presented for approval, though?
What's
Is what
that?
you're saying?
No, it's $1,500, this is $1,500 more than
Mhm.
what was
Yeah.
presented for approval.
And so that's even less than $130 a month, so.
Okay. Well, we don't have to deal with this right now. This can go into the approval for the budget, right? Or,
Yeah, you don't have to
That-
approve it now. However, we need to make sure that it's in the budget approval process, because Phaedra's, 99% done, so we just need to make sure that.
correct. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I brought this forward. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Any other
Good.
questions?
No.
Comments,
None.
concerns? Issues? Okay?
The issues that I had, we've already talked about, and they're on Road P, and I've also talked to Rob about signage on Road 31 right there at Beanie
Yeah.
Canyon. I did have a conversation, which would be part of my report, but I can do it right now. We were there at Padilla yesterday also, and obviously you guys have seen the email that he has no issues with the signage there, so as soon as Rob and the road department can get something put together, we'll put some signage there on P and 31 Road. So, other than that, Sheriff, I have nothing else, so
Okay.
thank you.
Do we have a meeting with Enterprise coming up, like
Shane
on
is
Thursday
not-
or something, a phone call? Is that what that
hold
is?
on.
I think it was about the vehicles, but I'm not
Oh,
sure.
this week?
Yeah.
I don't-
didn't see anything.
I don't have anything in my calendar at this point in time.
I showed
that
us
would
an
be a question to Shane.
annual client review. It was whatever that is.
That would be a question for Shane.
Okay,
All right.
all right, thank
'Cause
you.
we still don't have anything, so, all right, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna move right along. We've had the discussion with the Southern Health Partners. I'm gonna incorporate these together. A discussion as it relates to a fee waiver for the use of Annex Number 1. We have one from Ms. Sanders, and we have one from Pastor Jean Schwinn? Schwinn?
Schween.
Swin.
Schwinn. And I think that Commissioner Copenhaver, you said that those have been,
As I understand, they received some donations that can pay those fees for them, so they're done.
okay.
That's what I understand.
Well, then I will move right on past those. A grant letter for the weed department. She is not here after our discussion yesterday in the workshop. That won't be presented today. The IGA for the Paso Mesa Verde, I don't think James Dietrich is back or around or available, so we'll go beyond that. We need to add that to our schedule for next week.
And I did look through that. That's good to go. It's just a matter of getting some version from the interwebs. It's locked down on the DocuSign.
Okay.
So,
So I do have another new DocuSign that just came again, which I think that's the DocuSign for the CDOT right underneath that, right? Yeah. So, moving down, we did have a discussion yesterday as it related to our board appointee for the Southwest Water Conservancy District. Commissioner Copenhaver did state that he would fulfill that for us, unless you've changed your mind, Commissioner.
No.
Go with that.
Motion to appoint Gerald Copenhaver to Southwest Water Conservation District Board of Directors.
And I'll second it.
Yeah, you gotta fill that out and swear and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to appoint Commissioner Copenhaver to the Southwestern Water Conservancy District as Montezuma County's representative. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
I just recuse myself.
All right, motion carries. All right. I'll sign that here. Well, I'll sign it right now. And Kim, I'll let you, I think because it takes all your stuff. All right. So now we have a DocuSign for Montezuma County with a contract. Ian, let me pull that up. I believe that you have reviewed everything so that we have the number in front of us, the 25303 is with CDOT. Do you have anything else to add to that?
you know, I don't have anything else to add. I did review it. Like a lot of these CDOT contracts, they do have a provision in there that talks about CDOT being able to get out of the contract if doing so is in the public interest. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of like some of the things that we talked about yesterday with the 911 contract. It's pretty standard language. Gives CDOT a lot of discretion to move in and out of this contract, but that's the only comment that I have. I'm comfortable with the contract as written.
Okay.
Move we sign CDOT contract OLA Montezuma County 25303 331 002 MTF C320-006. Man,
Second.
number soup.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to sign the contract with CDOT, number 331-002873 MTF C320-006. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Will I be getting a copy of that for the record?
I will do the best I can to send you something, Kim,
Okay.
as I sign it.
Sorry, I'm worried.
All right, next we have a transfer order. Who has that one?
Move we sign transfer order number 6-2022, public health per capita, as we're transferring $39,343.50 from the general fund to public health fund for the 2022 per capita calculations.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to sign order number 6-2022, transfer 39,343.50 from the general fund to the public health fund for the 2022 per capita calculations. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's okay. Transfer. And with that, I will go right straight into our reports. Ian.
So I spent a lot of time the past few weeks looking through contracts, both for the E911 board and for this board. That did take some time, the health services agreement as well. The Road 41 case for the road in Mancos, that case has been set for oral argument in front of the Colorado Court of Appeals. That's set for January 24th of 2023. Just to give you an idea of how backed up the Court of Appeals is at this point, briefing was completed for this case in early June. The county completed its brief in May. They submitted their reply brief in June, and now we're just now getting set for oral argument. So it's about 7 months between when briefing's completed and when we actually get in front of the court. So that's what we're set for at this point in time. We continue to look for ways that we might be able to resolve that case, but at this point in time, we are set for argument in front of the Court of Appeals. I referenced it earlier, the land use enforcement. We've got some unique challenges with a couple of those properties, one being that nobody's picking up any of the registered mail that we're sending, so we're not getting any return receipts. State statute doesn't really account for that possibility, and so we're going to have to be creative, and what we're going to do is we're just going to have those enforcement letters personally served so we can move forward.
Personally serve it just like we would with the sheriff.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yep. And so, and then one of the other properties in question, kind of a unique situation. It's in the trust of a individual who's deceased. And that property and that trust was never properly probated. And so we're going to have to go back and figure out exactly how to address that situation. Really right now, the owner is no more. And so, we'll,
tough to serve.
Yeah, we'll work through that and get that taken care of. The Ironwood matter, we're still anticipating moving forward on the motion for preliminary injunction. The complaint has been filed. We did serve initial disclosures on opposing counsel last week, and so I, along with CDPHE, worked on those initial disclosures just to comply with discovery rules and rules of civil procedure. And so we are set to move forward. We do have a scheduling conference on December 1st to schedule that motion for a preliminary injunction for hearing. We're going to ask the court to set that as soon as possible. Our hope is that we can get it on the court's calendar before the end of the year. And so that's where we're at in the process with that. Other than that, I don't have anything more to add.
Thank you. James Dietrich, I think, is still tied up at an outside meeting, so we'll go beyond that. Travis, what do you have?
Not a whole lot, of just day-to-day activities last week, and trying to get everybody on the same page so that we're all consistent. I was able to meet with stakeholders, with the City of Cortez and the tribe and others. The process of them trying to get their water from Lake Nighthorse over here sounds like it's really starting to kick off. So we're getting our Eco Devo personnel involved, and along with Shaq. Shaq is invited. So that sounds like it's real promising due to the drought situation and their need for water. So that was the biggest thing that I worked on for last week.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Commissioner Lindsay.
Yeah, last week I did attend a city council meeting, and it was election night, so I was the only public there. And they did approve their budget and approved some liquor licensing, and the meeting lasted probably 30 minutes. So I was in and out of there pretty fast.
Wow.
And also attended a hospital district board meeting, and they were pretty quick getting out of there too. Then they went to executive sessions, so I left, but I did bring a board packet for review. And it was my honor to attend the Veterans Breakfast at the Legion, and it was a really fine time. They've rolled out the cannon again, so everybody beware. They may be around firing the cannon one of these days. And Veterans Day Parade was done up proud. Those people that put that on did a really fine job.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Copenazer.
This last week, I attended the Mancus Town Meeting. They had some discussion, they're still having some discussion with their water bills.
Water and sewer rates?
One resident was very irate about how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of gallons used in 14 days, I think it was. So something is really messed up with her, either with her meter or something's going on. Anyway, they're still having issues with that. They had some discussion about their fees for different bed and breakfast type facilities around town and stuff like that. And that was the main issue that they were discussing, along with their budget. They were working on their budget and stuff too, but that was the main things going on with them. And that's about all I did this last week.
All right, very good. Well, gosh, there's a lot to report here, but I'll do it as quickly as possible. Tuesday, Travis, I, and Phaedra finished, well, we didn't finish, but we're about 96%, 97% done with massaging our county budget. Actually, we spent all the day Tuesday on that, dealing with that. Wednesday, kind of had a slow day there. Thursday, I went to a STAC committee meeting, State Transportation Advisory Committee meeting. It was done via Zoom. I then met in the afternoon with Southwest TPR preparation meeting with the City of Cortez, our planning director, as far as getting basically from the Johnson Building south to the bridge, and that bridge listed onto the TPR so that we can get that section of roadway on CDOT's radar. Went to the Lower Open House on the 4th. Had a discussion there with a couple of folks about what we're doing with our grow dome. And Commissioner Copenhaver, I send her to you because you are our expert as far as we're dealing with the grow dome at this point in time. We did have a workshop to discuss some of the items that have already been addressed today. Tuesday, we did not have a meeting. Wednesday, we had our Special Highway Committee Zoom meeting with CCI. Rob did a very good job on that presentation. Him and I were, along with Travis, in that presentation. We did not get a lot of time to ask for the funds that we needed for the Alkali Creek Bridge. However, they have all of the documentation that the grant writer has submitted, so hopefully we will have that. I think it's next week, right? Whether we're successful or unsuccessful for the Alkali Creek Bridge.
Yeah. Rob did a really good job in his presentation. I was impressed.
So, and then with the other commissioners that were there, it was kind of good seeing all of them. And I did tell them that I promised them that at least in the next 4 years that I would not request any more funds from CCI as far as anything for road projects.
You shouldn't have let them off the hook.
Let's see. We did discuss, again, just to echo what Commissioner Lindsay said about Veterans Day, I think that all went off very well, and I was unable to attend personally, but I did have representation in the parade with that. So we had a discussion yesterday, short as it relates to some of the issues going forward with the county as far as our discussion for holidays. No decisions have been made on that, but that will be done by the first of the year or shortly after we approve our budget. And then the other items that we addressed today also. I was in Dolores this morning at 6:30 at a Rotarian meeting to give them the hot topic items of Montezuma County. I started with Ironwood, the land use code, the roads, workforce housing, and you guys can see I got here somewhat tardy this morning because it was a pretty good discussion with the people over there in Dolores. And that's all that I have, gentlemen. So with that,
I have one other thing. To the people that worked the election over at the clerk's office, my thank you goes out to them. They put in a bunch of tireless hours and sometimes thankless hours. So Kim, you and your crew did a really fine job.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
and I will also second that. Thank you
Yeah.
for your hard work, Kim.
Good job.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, gentlemen, with that.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
We also had a E911 board meeting yesterday. Forgot, sorry. And we did sign a couple of contracts that have been discussed, one for the phone system. We did not sign the one for the logger because we didn't get that until yesterday, so that'll have to be reviewed before we sign that contract for the logger. But,
And we also signed the contract for the guide cards.
oh, and the guide card system. So we had 2 contracts that we signed yesterday as the E911 board. And with that, now I will.
I motioned already.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn this November 15th BOCC meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.